緑の森で目を覚ます記憶胸の獣が闇の中嘲笑うよ巡る石の中そばにいて白き人よ輝きをもたらして今すぐにこの渇き潤してこの目に映るものは恋の真夏の
Hello, and welcome to my final episode of Melty Blood 2002. Very last left off, we finished off all the routes, and now we are finally on Route 7, Block K. Hot. My throat is parched. How long has it been since my thirst has been quenched? My body is harmed by the rising sun, and exchange these ability force surpassed my previous ones. That is only natural. If your momentum increase, you must increase your intake of nutrients. Oh, we know this already. We saw this in the first round. Oh, it's mistaken, mumbling that I awaken. Night is finally the full moon. That is the time limit. All the ripening rumors will become hard tonight. My true goal, bringing vengeance to the one who initiated me into the race of vampires, attacking the enemy at Etna, will end here. No matter what, by tomorrow. I think I am finished. These past 3 years, never returned. Okay. Just waiting for the new dialogue. Alright, it seemed like everything is going just about the same, but this time we might actually meet Walshia. Put your hand at the rooftop. 1 second. Alright, back. Sorry about that. Okay. I can hold onto myself against Walshia. How long do you plan on being quiet, Walshia? If you almost close to taking form, then you should be aware. Because it's your last time. I'll listen to your last words. How tasteless. A voice like dark magic echoing from nowhere. Kiki quietly removed his glasses. To prevent Washia from advancing further, I point my gun at him. Coming backstage before a performance, you haven't grown at all since that one night, have you yet? It seems after 100 years, the members of the Atlas have yet to gain any refinement. The pulsing inside me increased. With the sound of that voice, it grew stronger, threatening to overwhelm. Sion, it is dangerous for you to face him. If you plan on defeating him, you must not hesitate. His point of view is reasonable. As Washia's child, trying to merely confront him would result in him taking control. Then it is only logical that I have to defeat Washia before that happens. Sion, if you can't fight tonight, another thing lacking in taste, do you not understand, guess? This girl has something she must ask me. Is that not so, Sienna and Melancia? As you say, Washia, I have something to ask you. Very well, I will listen. No matter what you say, you are my offspring. As your patron god, it is my duty to dispel your earthly desires. 3 years ago, Washia. You annihilated us 3 years ago at Tatari, that's fine. As one who could not explain you to the church, and as the one who could not understand you, we bear responsibility. But you were illogical. Why? Back then, why did you let you go, carrying you that with you all this time as a reason for your seeking revenge? It's a little quiet. Back then, you had no need to let me go. As one who can only exist for one night, you don't need anything. For the night of Washia, there was no reason at all to let Theon Ednum escape. You bastard, you still... Your memory of that night 3 years ago should suffice for your answer. I gave you your answer. Why? Because I felt sympathy for my own kind. That isn't a reason. You are the Knight of Washia. You cut off all ties to the name of Ednum. You, a vampire, let me go because I am a descendant? For one who dragged the name Ednum to the lowest step to cite such a reason. How drilling. You mean to say that you find it so unbearable that I, the one who dirtied the name of Ednum, let you go because you were Ednum? How hard is it to throw away your pride in your family? To follow me so far, to go through so much pain because of your mistaken humiliation? Goodness, letting you go because you were Ednum? You should reconsider that, Theon. Did you really believe that was why I let you go? But you turned away from the truth so you would not realize it. Even though you knew it long ago, you appeared before me oblivious. In the first place, why did you leave Atlas? It was not for the reason that you asked me. Do you not understand it yet? Your mistake is what you doubt truly are. My mistake that in the end, my doubts that I could not grasp. Exactly. That's what's gained knowledge, laws, ideas, thoughts. None of them were created by you. They were only being borrowed from others. What is this? I need to hear from that bastard. Atlas, logistically, never accused Ednum of a crime, but Theon Ednum, you were clever to read the knowledge of other people. Tapping into information centered on is the same as immersing oneself in collective common sense of other people. Therefore, the more you develop your world, your intelligence and wisdom, the harder it is to tap into other people. A fully matured sense of self was ripe completely through another ideas. That's right, that's why I was always so neutral. Casting off all intent of my own, I was just gathering information from others. But to absorb from the minds of others was common sense. In order to protect the name of Ednum, the girl, Theon Ednum, only specialized in the Ednum technique. Therefore, your action were not surprising. While causing any resistance or feelings of inconsistency, you drew information from others. But there was a sense of inconsistency. I didn't know what it is. No matter how many calculations I made, I could not understand. So if I went outside, if I could read the data of others, may be able to shed some light on my question. You surely have realized it by now, daughter. Recognition of that contradiction would bring the destruction of the one named Sion End. As long as you are human, these doubts and questions will remain. In morality, Gnosticism could teach malevolence. Humans are just monkeys who became attached to these functions. So I gave you blood. I gave you blood and turned you into a vampire. I did not want one of my kind to lose any more capacity. Same kind. This is... Now I will ask you a question. You use the body of a vampire, yet you actually resist vampirification. So why is it? Does the search for truth require the human body? Is it not natural to replace a lesser component with a better one? Dara and you logically obtain information from others. Then is it not logically to become a vampire? What reason do you have to refuse a better component? But why do you go so far to remain human? The reason I resist becoming a vampire, the reason I will not drink blood, is rather obvious. I just don't want to have a body where I must steal from others. That's just... Yes, there is a contradiction. Is there not, Etna? You do not feel guilt about stealing information from others, but you are repelled by the idea of stealing blood from others. A ludicrous tale. Even though you detest vampire, you have been doing the same thing since the moment you were born. So even when I realized it was wrong, there was no other choice. No matter how much I regret it, no matter how much I hate it, I cannot change the way I am. So even if I realize my way of living was flawed because I am such a trivial person, stop it. Yes, you finally realized your mistake, Sion. You could not understand that simple emotion. But that is something to boast of. Not even understanding your guilt, only understanding the thoughts of others. Even though Sion Enum exists, you ignore yourself and simply become a transparent body, accumulating the thoughts of others. I do not need to say anything more, do I? I am manifested from the thoughts of others. You cannot exist without absorbing the thoughts of others. That's why you and I are the same kind. Together we are life forms that cannot exist without information. Is that not delightful? Where else can we find two things alike, so alike? The darkness howling, my throat is parched, blood, I want blood right by me. The heart of Shiki beating ever so sweetly. Don't be ridiculous. Don't listen to him, Sion. There is no need to listen to his lies. I know, but that voice is right. I cannot help but listen to the truth. The throat hurts. I can't see anything. I hate something, anything, nothing seems to matter anymore. For the first time in my life, I think that is tempting. Why, from the beginning, you only receive remorse from the people around you anyway. If you simply cease that kind of thinking, I will give you a far superior manner of acting as a vampire. Sion, hang in there! Now, you can no longer resist. Satisfy your 3-year-long thirst with this human who tempts you. Sion, are you okay with this? Alright, looks like we're fighting Tatari Sion.
気乗りはしないんだが。
逃げてください。
ラウンド
I wonder whether she will fight this time. Yeah, she put it. Oh, yeah. This is a real fight.
悪いが終わりだ。
That's who though.
神ですか、あなたは。
ラウンド2ファイト。
神ですか、あなたは。 なんて遅い。
Think it. It's weird that this is the first time she actually is fighting for
何
real.
ですかあなたは。
She's not using most of her special. Is it 3 round or 2 rounds this time?
よし、なんとかなった。
2 rounds. Heavy. Even though my body is many times superior than before, it feels so many times heavier. Just moving my arm and lifting my head hurts this much. Like a machine. I look like a machine trying to move around without any power. Actually, I look more like a corpse drained of blood. My bloodless ears hear something. Even though I am unable to hear the one or the distant tree, I am able to hear the voice of the one in front of me. Sion, hang in there! Also sorry about my mouth. By listening, I carefully, little by little, like gathering grains of sand one by one, I am finally able to understand his voice. What's wrong, human? Have you not won? You should hurry and end her misery. Whatever the outcome, she will meet her end. No matter how long you may try and stave it off, it will not change the inevitable destruction that awaits. Black noise. Shut up! Cold voice. His breathing even wilder than mine. He seemed to be in a predicament. See, I couldn't feel my limbs because they were so heavy, but I must have torn into him with my claws after all. You still have sympathy? If you leave it alone, it will soon heal and attack you. When that happens, you will die in that state. In your state, you cannot defend yourself. Or the noise laughing. It's difficult. It's definitely very amused at my uselessness and his ridiculousness. He even told me that he understood. He promised to kill me if I become like this. Look, she's starting to recover. Excellent, the nerve you cut were unable to be repaired, so she immediately replaced them with an Eagerlight. They were originally intended as false nerves for use by surgeons. She can easily heal if all you cut is her circuits. You may wish to defeat me, the one who stole her freedom, but she will not stop. If you want to fight me, you must kill her completely. Jarring, grating noise. But that noise is correct. He is mistaken. At this rate, you are quite deluded. You think that by calming her down, you can return her to the way she was. Such a lovable optimism is useless. Boy, if you think anything of her at all, you have no other recourse than to kill her, do you not? Noise like a sandstorm, an unpleasant sound leaking into my head, into my thoughts, but you just shut up! You've been doing nothing but running your mouth, you annoying bastard! But a sharp voice cuts through the noise and makes it disappear like magic. Well, Sion, are you okay with being like that? His strong voice, is enough to make me stop hearing that bothersome noise. I know you can't be. You probably want to go on a rampage a little more, don't you? You look like you want to go crazy because you wanted to drink blood so much. Fine, I'll roll with you until you're fully satisfied. However, the darkness covering my vision lifts. Blood returned to my dead body. In my mind, which tried to escape by stopping, light started to at least shine forth. However, I'm going to knock you around until you give up. Until you realize how much you despise your weakness, I'm going to keep beating you up. He said his body covered in wounds. But you cannot win a fight with Spirit alone. If he fights again, he will lose. If I beat him, I can quench my thirst. See, certainly she is weak. That is why she gave in to me. But she also have a weakness to you. Her being weak to me means that she is weak to vampiric impulses. And you are also weak to the vampire Sion Etno. The noise sneers at me. He ignored the noise, acting like he can't hear it. The noise is barely audible. Smiles. Just now, while she has released his hold over me. What is mistaken is, my weakness was just against myself. I wanted to run away from myself. I didn't want to realize that I depended on the information I obtained from others just like Washia. Because even once I realized my mistake, I would not be able to change it. That is how I was born, how I was raised, how I lived. I thought I couldn't change the way I lived. If I realized my mistake, I would have acknowledged it and continued moving forward, so I ran. From Atlas, from myself, from Washia. That was my weakness. Because the path Washia offered me was easy, I fled onto it. But he is wrong. His words are exceedingly difficult. If I fight, I will utterly be defeated, because his strong words are very difficult, that are what I cannot defeat. But I will take that challenge. Washia is wrong. Even though it is just noise, it was correct, so it made me empty. But incorrect noise is really just noise. I am not weak, as to be controlled by that. Right, I am not weak. I understand my doubts. I don't need his help. I know I was weak for a long, long time. However, all the same, I do not need your help, Shiki. I will not lose to anything outside of myself. I'm strong. I fight to tear away from my weak self. Of course, my opponent is not Washia. My opponent is that man. Tell me to walk a difficult path. That's just fighting so you can rub it in your irresponsible partner's face. I do not need help, Shiki. I will not lose to anything outside of myself. What? Xian, you return to sanity? Please correct yourself, Shiki. I have always been sane. Even if I was controlled by the vampiric impulses, I never lost my sanity. Oh, I see. Since it's you, that's probably right. I do not know why you're so happy. Well, I will act right now. There are more important matters to attend to. Look, it's already past midnight. Neither Washia. Instead of staying in that useless state, how about taking form of Tatari? As you are now, you cannot do anything. I will not stop you if you decide to disappear while becoming Tatari tonight. How long do you plan on staying like that, Washia? Today is the appointed time. You have no time to do anything but become Tatari. So, cut! Cut! It's entertaining no longer. I spent this time trying to get my dog to submit, but for it to be meaningless like this? How truly boring. All that left is to destroy everything with my own hands. It's a mess I have to clean up as fast as possible. Until dawn, I will feed off the people of this town and seek out the sick. Excuse me. Now where can I amuse myself? What? This is Arkui. Yes, this is my world. The place where the one I connected to you, Arkui Brunstein, can use her power without constraints. Arkui, no, you. Exactly. Shiki, Washia took the form of true ancestor. Well, not the real true ancestor. It does not make much difference in terms of existence. It is a fate, but not to take lightly. How unexpected, Sion. It's not a matter of taking anything lightly. Between you and me, you can't even call it a fight. What's going to happen is the extermination of pests. You can't fight me. You will be crushed like a bunch of bugs. Thanks to the power of this fake moon. Who will fight, Xian or Shiki? Xian. This is her fight after all. But I really like how she... So I was right.
Round 1. Fight.
Why do you have armor? It's not even super armor. It's just regular armor. Oh, thank God. That didn't connect. I got this. Watch this. Stupid.
戦闘終了。帰還します。
ラウンド2ファイ
しつこいわね、死ね。無駄です。
Oh, that time she had
沈
armor.
みなさい。しつこいわね。しつこいわね。しつこいわね。しつこいわね。飛べ。しつこいわね。飛べ。しつこいわね。しつこいわね。ふざけて。飛べ。
Come on. Come on.
飛べ。飛べ。
Dang it. Hold on.
許さない。飛べ。飛べ。ふざけて。飛べ。しつこいわね。口ほどに。
That's not good.
しつこいわね。あなたたち突破できる。
That's not good. That's not good. I blocked close. Oh. Why you do a whole combo? That's the first whole combo you did. Alright, alright, alright.
ファイナルラウンドファイ
しつこいわね。誰で伸びるか。ウルトランス。
That is not what I wanted.
しつこいわね。飛び散りなさい。戦闘飛べ。再開します。効かないわ。飛べ。効かないわ。飛べ。飛べ。飛べ。飛び散りなさい。
Jeez.
この程度で。しつこいわね。やってくれたわ。しつこいわね。あなたの負けだ。
Got something for you. Oh, okay, no.
飛び散りなさい。しつこいわね。許さない。許さない。
I'm gonna die.
戦闘再開します。しつこいわね。あなたの負けだ。
Got you, please.
間違った。
Got you. Woo! I would have died if that did not work. It's over, Washia. It's not so easy to tie down Archery Broomside, the princess of the true ancestor using Tatari. For you, using her body is impossible. I agree. After becoming Archery Broomside, I finally understand. This body is limitless. I probably only drew upon 30% of her potential. For you to defeat me, it must be my failure. But this is only tonight's sideshow. As regrettable as it is, I will have to use it during my next opportunity. Once the form of Tatari is defeated, it disappears. How simple. Are you not the one who called me Knight of Wallship? Once Tatari occurs, it exists for the entire night. Even if it is a form defeated, Tatari will not pass away. The only time Tatari has disappeared before morning was when there was no one left to drink. The only way for Tatari to leave is for everyone to be drained of blood. Oh, then all we have to do is defeat you? It is useless, no longer Tatari. I am just a phenomenon. Even if you perceive death, you cannot defeat what doesn't exist. The only thing which can be forced to exit the stage is dawn. That is quite a long time. Now, let the night of drinking blood begin. Damn, Sion, what do we do? Nothing. If the Night of Wallshia is not formed as the Tatari, then we cannot destroy it. Without form, Wallshia does not exist. That's why the church has been unable to catch him these past centuries. Correct, Sion Etnam. Normally fighters like you are best left till the end, but that goes against my whole existence. No matter who, I will not allow anyone who dirties my stage to survive. I will drink every last blood you have. Hurry and fall into the abyss below my stage. Forever behold my curse. No, your curse ends tonight. Who are you? The operator of this game. Shall I use the name Crimson? What is this? My thoughts. That be an Etnam of Brurion. Is this really happening? Then how is it that possible before he became Oshia, this cannot be. To return to this body, to return to myself, such a irrational thing cannot occur. Even if you are a member of the true ancestor, royal family, to return a phenomenon like myself back to existence. This is ridiculous. Wake up from your dream already. That apostle, you can never gain the miracle, the dream you desire. No matter how many thousand years you try, you will never become the sixth. Feel free to think you can attain the sixth after spending an infinite amount of time. Go ahead and grasp onto that small hope. But know what happens after the fulfillment of that miracle. Know its shape will be the end of you. What did you do? You don't get it yet, you piece of dirt. You then look up at the crimson moon shining overhead. Red moon? This is the same as the night I became the Knight of Walshia. Do you remember now? The power you received from the red moon that made you a phenomenon. It expires when the red moon appeared, doesn't it? Indeed, however, the red moon should be in the distant future. My cycle equation is measured in millennia. The conclusion of my predetermined cycle is after 1,000 years. Until then, I should remain at Tatari. But once the cycle ends, you return to your normal self. After the end of your 1,000-year long equation, you cannot attain even once the answer. The Knight of Walshia may as well return to the dead apostle called Zepia. Was that not the contract you made with Antada? Wait, then this is, yes, the end of your pointless journey, Walshia. Aren't you happy? I made it into reality right here and now. Your fruitless effort over 1,000 years. I can't believe it. For her marble phantasma, she created the moon from 1,000 years in the future. Impossible. Time travel is on the order of sorcery, and to bring the moon from 1,000 years in the future is just... This is my world. Although it can only exist for one night like yours, there's no world I cannot make. To make it in your turn, you and I are both rulers of lives that can only last for one night. It's only obvious that that an inferior imagination will fall into delusion when faced with a superior one, isn't it? Then my wish will never come true. The end of your equation cycle is the end of humanity. You may rule over a desolate land devoid of anyone, but knowing that result already must be painful. I no longer intend to use my power for absurdity. More than anything else, your play is rather annoying. Just end your life and existence here, Walshia. You're nothing more than the rumors of people anyway. If the world is less a few rumors, it is no loss at all, is it? Hey Sion, what is Arcui saying? She's not the true ancestor that we know, but I understand her words. She is simply telling Walshia to die. Pretty upfront, is she? So, are we able to kill him now? Without a doubt, he is Tatari, but Walshia, he is a vampire named Zepia before he became a phenomenon. If we defeat him now, the dead apostle Tatari will cease to exist. He is possible. Are you saying that even if I am Tatari for 1,000 of years, I won't be able to read you Crimson Moon? But I will not finish. I am the Knight Walshia, a phenomenon immune to destruction. If you say this night is my end, then that lie will disappear if I kill you right here and now. If I can't attain my goal using this method, this midsummer night dream is already over. I will drain you here and think of the next step. He's coming, but it appears he is not the only one we can face. The true ancestor is our only hope then. Oh, me? Sorry, I'm using all my power to maintain this weight. So I'm counting on you to take out Walshia, Cheeky. Count on me? What happened to your tough talk? You made him serious, so stop being so easygoing and take responsibility. Oh, look. You tell me we don't have time to chit-chat, Cheeky. You're unbelievable. I agree, but the only way to fight with everything we have, who fight Shion or Cheeky? Shion. This is it, the final battle, and the end of Sion's fight. I'm not going to miss this game, honestly.
あなたにはないのですか?
Round 1 Fight.
Let's grab. I'm on fire.
再開します。
Okay.
あなたの負けだ。
Got you.
寝てろ。
2, 3, 4, 6.
わからないのですか。
Wow, what a chunk. Why are you laughing for? Hi, Akiha.
ではペナルテ
この程度です。
ィではペナルティ
Man, I wish this fight was a lot harder.
以上、
How disappointing.
かかりきった結末でした。
ラウンド
Probably be a lot harder if I'm shaky.
飛べ。飛べ。
満足
飛べ。沈みなさい。飛べ。
Adam.
カットカットカットカットカットカット
まだ
Oh no.
この程度です。飛べ。 飛べ。飛べ。飛べ。
なかなかカット
計算通り。
Ooh, that's scary.
カットではペナルティ美しくないなでは
Is
ペ
that
ナルテ
unbuckle?
ィマイではペナルティだ
Come here.
誰でもできる。
Got you, son of a-
失礼け
He really just grabbed me like that.
ではペナルティだ早い幕だったな
Alright, let's try not to get hit by
ファイ
his ultimate super.
ではペナルティ
この程度です。
I'm not even close to that!
ではペナルティ早い幕だったな人間
The Night of Walsh is indestructible. It's time for you to leave the stage! My breathing stopped, not knowing the fate of others. My mind sink into darkness. Please give me my retry. Yes, thank you. Okay. So let's try not to get hit by that super.
あなたに勝ち目があるとでも。
ラウンドワンファイ
飛べ。
ではペナルテ
I wish he wasn't blocking so much.
無駄な抵抗を。飛べ。飛べ。
ィなかなか
飛べ。
No, 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 no. Alright, alright, alright.
ではペナルティ
How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do
ラウン
this?
ドツーファイマ
無駄で
イではペナルティ
す。
I'm getting hit by everything.
失礼
I just wanna hit you. I wish this game wasn't so irresponsive. I did it.
この程度です。
やるではない
Just gonna.
カットカットカットカットカット
あなたが突破でしょ。
Wait. You mother!
カットカットカットカットカットカットカット
I'm going. I can do this. It's just that stupid move,
敗北以外
which takes
あなたにはないの
a
です。
third of my health.
ラウンドワンファイ
沈みなさい。 この程度です。
美しくないで
計算通りですね。
はペナルティカットカットカットカットカットカットカットカットカットカット
Ah!
早い幕だったな
It's literally just the fact that he always
ラウ
has
ンド
3 minutes.
ツーファイ満足やるではない
It's really good.
ではペナルティ
I'm at it work.
無益
Alright, let's try this again.
ファイナルラウンドファイトではペナルティではペナルティ
計算通り
やるでは
この程度で
やるでは
Let's see then. I'm dead, that's right.
抜けます 戦闘終了帰還します
The time has come to lower the curtain. Like a silver stake, Shiki knife drives into Washia's chest. Washia simply stared down at the knife, puzzled. Splat. He spit out forth the blood he gathered over these hundreds of years. Greenman report. With the waves of life so abstainingly, so blindly, so uselessly gathered into him. See, it was a waste. It was all a waste. After all, even if a beast wore shoes, it would still be cast aside and trampled, torn apart like a bad piece of shit. Fortune by those seeking eternal prize. Crowd you flies, for the world will elude you maggots. Missing, lost, vague, ignorant as expected. Another change, another low, another death. Oh, what was I seeking? Blood poured forth from the sunken caves of the eyes on Washia's mask-like face. Soon it will no longer even have a human shape. Just a mask smiling cheerfully as the endless pillar of blood flows out. Blood gushing, blood pouring, blood oozing, blood pumping, blood. Sickening wet sound, Washia becomes smaller and smaller. All that left is the mask. Soon the pillar of blood subsides as well. The smell of blood is really strong. Shiki, let's go. Washia already gone. There's nothing more to do here, right? But before that, Shiki looks at me. All I can do is look at Washia disappear. Washia, why did those vague, unnecessary words leave my mouth? You've become a vampire. I couldn't ask why he left Atlas. Like a small animal, it turned almost lovingly towards me. How foolish of me to expect Washia to answer me in that state. Well, Sian, that's because I saw my answer. From tearfully smiling mask come that exceedingly kind voice. I saw my answer, Sian. I saw my answer. You'll probably find it someday as well. Any highly skilled alchemist can find a path to it after hard work. We have none of the qualms of a sorcery would. Anyone could find the answer after knowing everything about this world and making precise calculations. That unchangeable end. Atlas is a warehouse of madmen. Even knowing that there is an inescapable end, they came up with the way to try and resist it. But the way they came up with these ways, the worse the future destruction becomes. There's no salvation working to achieve a world of equality. We tried to read the future and manage it, but from the very beginning there was nothing but destruction waiting. I thought. Yes, I simulated all the different ways, but no matter what method you use, the future is steered only toward a more grotesque fate. I went mad. All alchemists who foresee the impending destruction go mad, define the future as its craze. That's truly going crazy. Since you bear the name Alencia, you'll eventually fall into that pit. Sister Alencia, you will go crazy while falling into the hell and calculating new destruction. I challenge that. Making the impossible possible is what it means to be Alencia. I became a vampire to increase my own ability to tame that miracle. The tearfully smiling mask say all that. Yes, it is truly crying while smiling. Even that face has been warped. It is because it realized the meaningless of our reading the future. Frantically denying our powerless and rushing forward and going crazy in the end. Russia, you. Till even the bones are gone. There's no salvation. There is no pleasure. Humans are trivial. Such trivial, struggling in a fight to the death, bringing self-destruction, trivial self-destruction. Yes, yes, I just wanted an incalculable future. How foolish, you were born so you have an end. Our terminal stop is always destruction. If you cannot accept that, then just accept your self-destruction. True ancestor words are correct, I also agree. Yes, but he knew. Even though that future existed, there is a way to avoid it. But he didn't want to admit it. As long as you are looking at your escape route, you can keep testing that route as long as it lasts. Isn't it hard to always look forward? I don't really sympathize with him, but maybe the beginning of the Night of Washington started with bad intention. Shiki, no matter you are naive, no matter how it started, it killed countless people. No amount of punishment can change that. I know that, but don't you feel the same way? Even call you Sion at the end. But that doesn't excuse all the people he killed. Zepia, no, the Night of Washington was a mass murder. There is no room for sentimentality. That's a certain truth. Shiki words are just sentimentality. But to be completely honest, I would like to believe he could have been saved by that one word. Returning back to ground level, the sun is starting to rise. As usual, there is no wind, and the air is stiflingly hot. However, I left the building and started walking on the ground. I began to see the world in a different light. Then, this is how far we go. I really am grateful for your help, Shiki. It really makes me happy. I'm glad I could be a help to even you. If it was just me being there. Yes, if you were not there, I could not have finished this journey. And I look around, the place where I first fought him here. And the place where we must part. Get to think of it, back then, because I lost to Shiki, I am able to stand here like this. That fight back then, I was simply the result of him being superior. I didn't have greater prospect of victory, but thanks to him, I was able to pair up with Shiki. Chance really isn't a bad thing. Did you say something, Sam? Yes, I said even losing is okay. Looking at the situation now, I am able to look with you because I wanted to find an opportunity to gloat since you defeated me. Huh? Gloat? I wasn't rubbing it in, though. Yes, you never did look down on me, but I was really offended many times. But it was all a misunderstanding. Weren't you hiding things to keep me ignorant? Then a word of advice. Ignorance can be a sword, but never a shield. Please pay more attention to that in the future. Yes, I'll do that. He nodded seriously. That is another one of his good points. He listens so well to people. Well, that may also be a shortcoming. Do you recall some good memories, Xion? No, I never had anything good to remember until now. I'll have to make some good memories after we part, Shiki. I really don't get it, but whatever. Moving on, Xion. Are you okay with your conversation with Akari? I think she'd be willing to listen to you right now. True ancestor Akari is waiting about 20 meters ahead. Shiki told her he wished to speak to me and walked away with her. From 20 meters away, she could probably still hear us. But that doesn't really matter, really. I don't have anything to hide. No, that matter is settled. With Wachia's demise, the vampire in me is no longer getting stronger. My body is still part vampire, but I can resist the vampiric impulses well enough. It should not prevent me from living normally. I will go back to the Atlas and research a cure for vampirism. Not alone like before, but teaming up with the member of the Atlas. Shiki seemed really happy that I would team up with others. I feel like maybe I have changed a little since working with him, but all the same, I can't change the fact that I steal information from others. Shiki, a lot happened, but I gained so much. I've made a lot of mistakes, but that's because I wasn't looking for an answer. Yes, knowing my mistake, I will continue to search. Humans are full of contradiction. Please do not forget the example you just witnessed. What's that all about? Treating people like study cases still? Sion, you really haven't changed at all. Thank you. That makes me feel a little more confident. I reach out my hand. Shiki, before we go, shall we shake hands? I still haven't expressed my gratitude and friendship. All I can rely on is my confidence and my memories. But doing this, by making this contract, I want to remember absolutely everything. Yeah, thanks for everything, Sion. I really am grateful. Shiki takes my hand, shakes it, and I return his handshake, squeezing his hand hard. You're a true friend, so I want to make an unrealistic promise. If you ever need me, I will come to help you. Can you allow that? What do you mean? It's not a matter of allowing or not. Whenever you're in trouble, Sion, just call me. I'll come and help you. Thank goodness. Then this is goodbye, Shiki. Yeah, take care, Sion. I hope you have the best luck, Shiki. Shiki runs lightly over to the true ancestor. She complains a little to him, and he takes it all in stride as long as they both make their exit. After watching them until they disappear, I also start walking. Thank goodness, then this is goodbye, Shiki. I repeat those words of farewell to myself. Yes, it really was a good thing, because our promise still lasts. Thanks to that, neither of us will stray. As long as that promise lasts, I will always feel this moment. My first friend, my first partner. And my first... Well, then, first I have to return to Alice. Offer repentance to the president there. After that, I will probably have to persuade the faculty as well. There's a lot to do. I will not let myself be carried away by these emotions forever. We're skillfully planning so as not to lose to him. I leave this place. What I leave behind is the hot summer and a completely fictitious night made by that alchemist. Turn away from the night that I will never have to experience again. I start walking towards a bright new future. And that's the end of Melty Blood 2002. I really like it. I remember hearing that Melty Blood is Sion's story, and now I completely understand why. Each route really provided a insight on Sion and how she's really insecure about herself. And I think Route 7, the reason why you had to do all the other routes beforehand is because they wanted you to realize how insecure, how much she thinks so little of herself. To where this moment, where she finally triumphs over herself, and the thing holding herself back the most is herself, and that she has to overcome it herself. That's why I think the Route 2 is so... Also, yes, I still think Route 2 is still the best. But I like how Route 2 is a bit in here as well. But I'm really happy to have played this game. As much as I didn't really like playing it, because a lot of mechanics are unresponsive and a lot of other stuff, it was really nice. I'm happy I got the chance to play it when I could. Anyway, this should be coming out on the 30th when, funny enough, G-Akiha Type Lumina comes out. I mean, not G-Akiha, Melty Blood Type Lumina come out. So, thank you guys for watching this whole series. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time for the next Melty Blood React.